Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today we're going to be talking about something a little more personal. Now sure, it's easy to be critical of Curated, it's easy to be critical of all these other ski review places, but what happens when it's somebody I personally know? That's right, my very first friend out in Idaho, my very first ski team friend, all 4 years of college, Kelly, is in a video by Backcountry.com. Now, Kelly is great. She has been nothing but nice to me. I consider her a close personal friend. But we're gonna see what she's on YouTube. It's in my domain. You know, it's almost like I always say I'm like Nosferatu. Once you make a ski review or a gear review, you've invited me into the home. So I will try not to let my biases change this too much. But I don't know. I mean, Kelly. I skied with Kelly. Kelly is a pro. She is a great skier. She is a fantastically smart person. So I'll be interested to see what she has to say. Backcountry, I don't know if you have Kelly in any other videos, but it seems like the move because she is so smart, such an expert. Like, this woman really shreds. So I'm excited to see what Kelly has to say. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little nervous making this video. I met Kelly almost exactly 16 years ago. I consider her a personal friend. I send her Christmas cards every year. So I'm a little nervous, but hopeful. Also hopeful because Kelly knows her stuff and it's not like her to say weird things. But again, this is a backcountry video, so it's definitely gonna be a little more advertisement heavy. But anyway, I have not watched this. I'm excited to watch it. Enough stalling. Okay, Elliott, let's just jump right into it. All right, the name of this video is Are Cler Ski Jackets and Pants Worth the Price? Gearhead Field Test by Backcountry. I've not really heard of Cler, but I also buy stuff used, so maybe I'm not the target demographic, but let's see.
Do you really think a ski kit should cost $5,000?
Let's find out.
Should a ski kit cost $5,000? So that's like what, jacket and snow pants? No way. I gave Ted Liggety's QST jacket a hard time for costing $1,800. $5K for snow pants and jackets? In what world? I think Kelly's look on her face said everything. I got a hard time imagining it, but okay, give him a chance. I'm only 10 seconds in. This will be a long video if I go at this pace. Okay.
Hey everybody, I'm Cam.
And I'm Kelly.
We're gearheads here at Backcountry, and today we're bringing to you the first ever Gearhead Field Test series where we take gear out on the mountain and put it through the ringer. Today we're going to talk about a bunch of kits from Cler, their high performance ski and snowboard outerwear. We brought it out to Snow Basin. We skied in it, we had some fresh snow, some sunshine, some variable conditions. Overall, we're gonna give you the nitty-gritty on what we thought.
We're gonna be testing all sorts of different things with the kits that we'll be bringing out to the resort, mainly construction, design, and fit. And do they stand up to the test? Do they work in different conditions, different temperatures, different snow? And I'm really excited to bring it to you guys to see what we found.
All right, that jacket Kelly had on was ginormous, especially for Utah. And that looked like a pretty sunny day. That being said, that actually makes a lot of sense knowing Kelly personally. Kelly's circulatory system is worse than the collective circulatory system of an entire retirement home. She gets so cold, her hands are like always frozen. I don't know what it is, but I don't know how she got into skiing, but she has terrible, terrible blood flow. So she does legitimately get cold, and when I raced with her, she did stack jackets on jackets on jackets, so she might be the perfect use case for a really thick jacket, actually. And obviously good skiing. Kelly's a tremendous skier. But that's still so much money. And that is such a big jacket for that climate. But again, for some people, they really do need jackets. I ski with some people where they are freezing and it's like a normal day. And I'm a little different with climate. I grew up in Northeast Vermont, so I don't really get cold easily. If anything, skiing out in Idaho, I'm usually too warm. There's really only a handful of days in like big storms where I get really cold, especially at Bogus Basin when we get high winds. That's usually what gets me, is like if I'm not completely covered from and shielded from the wind, I can get a little cold, but I don't know. I get it. I get it. Like Kelly would need a big giant mitten, and I could be out there in like half pipe gloves, normally fine. Just, it's such a different climate out here than Vermont. It really is.
Construction, let's really get into it. I think we should start with jackets first, because that's one of the core pieces that people, I feel like, refresh more than their pants every season. So what kit were you skiing in?
So
the jacket is one of the core pieces, Kelly. Was that on purpose? Because it covers your core. I don't know if that was on purpose or not, or Freudian slip, but that is funny. People change out their jackets more. I guess that's true. Most people just stick with black or like base color snow pants and then circulate it out. People like me and Zach though, it's like we get one jacket and then we're like soul bound to it for a few years. I'll buy like one jacket and realize it doesn't cover rain and I'm like, oh dang, I gotta get another jacket. But my like big puffy powder jacket, it has the date on it. I wanna say it's from like 2010 or something like that. My brother got it at a Birds of Prey event and I still have it now 14 years later. Good jackets, in my opinion, last. And if you take care of them, you can make them last. But then there's jackets where I like will only use it once or twice a year, or I'm usually giving it to my wife because she gets really cold, so I don't know. I don't tend to buy jackets that often. I have a little bit more for this channel because I want to like try some different things and do reviews on them. But typically, I think if you buy your jacket smartly, you buy it in the off season and you buy it for the right conditions, you can make it last a long time. But there are certain areas like in Idaho, when it gets warm, it's like 30, 40 degrees and you need a whole different jacket than you need in a snowstorm or when it's raining. So I don't know, I slowly add my jackets. I don't know, your mileage may vary.
So the jacket that I was in was the Morion jacket. And to all our viewers, we're gonna mispronounce these names, so bear with us. But the Morion jacket, when we're looking at construction, it comes with a very waterproof yet breathable Gore-Tex.
$2,100. I owe Ted Ligety an apology. Jesus. And it's Gore-Tex. Have you guys watched that Level 9? He's a motorcycle channel where he goes into like the breakdown of Gore-Tex. There are actually new materials that aren't Gore-Tex that are more waterproof than Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex has just kind of become a name brand and it hung onto this patent for so long. But they actually found that if you got non-Gore-Tex jackets, some of them were a little bit more waterproof and breathable than Gore-Tex itself. I think Gore-Tex has come out with some new product lately that's good, but you should watch the video. I'll link it down below. He kind of persuaded me that like Gore-Tex is really just a name brand. And I've actually had some like Volkl jackets at Gore-Tex that I wasn't that impressed with. I just didn't feel like they were breathable enough. They made me really sweat. I know that's like the whole point is they're supposed to be, but I wasn't too impressed with Gore-Tex.
Gore-Tex and Primaloft insulation combination. All the seams are super taped and heat sealed. They kept me super warm on some of those windier moments on the hill. Overall, I think the performance of Primaloft with a Gore-Tex material is the perfect resort style jacket for cold days on the hill and sunny days in the mountains. What kit were you in?
Super taped, what does that mean? The jacket was super taped? Like taped with super glue? I'm not sure what he means by that. I think what he's trying to say is it's got tapes covering the seams. What'll happen is you lose a lot of heat along the stitching, and if you've ever done any sewing, you basically have two pieces of cloth that merge, usually in joints, right? So if you had my like, where my sleeve piece meets the base of my shirt here, there's a seam where you have to sew it together, and usually at those seams, you can lose a lot of heat, or they can be, you know, like kind of weak spots for moisture. And so what I think he was trying to say is that the tape that they sew over prevents heat loss and prevents water leaking. Also, I don't know what that ski style was. It was like, he's going fast and he's doing it, but man, he's just like, it looks so unstable, I don't know. But it's off trail skiing a little bit, so it's hard to be too judgmental, but it looked very fast and very uncomfortable.
Are you in?
I will also be mispronouncing this one. The pants are a little easier, but the all-as bomber jacket is the one that I started in. I had two jackets yesterday. I was very nervous because it's a little bit shorter than my typical jacket, but it's very puffy and it was very, very warm. It is a bomber jacket. It retails for $2,400, and it has all the features that you want to make sure that you're staying warm and dry when you're on the mountain. The thing that I really liked about it was just the down fill on the inside. Montclair doesn't list the down fill on the inside, but it was very, very packable. I would say it was like a pillowcase on my body, which was really nice, but when we switched jackets later in the day, it was easy to put into a pack.
What about some of the other materials?
Yeah, good down is hard to beat. That's one thing you learn growing up in Vermont. Like if you've ever had like a down comforter versus just a quilt, like good loft. Essentially the way that down works, if you are interested to know, is that the more loft it has, it's basically taking pockets of air and insulating yourself. If you ever had a wetsuit, wetsuits kind of do the same thing with water. They pack like pockets of water and then your body heats it and keeps you warm. Down is kind of the same. It's basically the mechanism that geese use when they're flying. It takes pockets of air, keeps it on your body, and allows your body to heat it and insulate yourself. It's really good because it can be light and warm. Sometimes you can have big heavy jackets in Vermont and you can barely move. Down has not only loft but gives you range of motion and movement and allows you to be warm. The one thing I'll say with this jacket, two things that stick out to me as like big red flags. One is the big little dongles, the little laces, the little drawstrings here. They look like they have a button down here. When you're skiing fast, those whip you in the face. And it was never more obvious to me than this year when I had my little laces and I had my GoPro and they kind of windshield wipered in front of the GoPro. I lost so much footage from that one day that I actually went and got like a different jacket on sale because it's just so annoying. And when you go fast, they'll hit you in the face. They'll kind of, a stray will catch you in the nose where your goggles are having a gap. I don't like those little laces. Two, that jacket is so high. I mean, maybe it's just because I have a big old plumber's crack, but man, I really need my jacket down low. Like almost like one of those long jackets that covers my butt because I get so cold in my midsection from that stuff. But, oh, also, like, it should go without saying, but fantastic skiing from Kelly. Kelly is like an, USCSA All-American. She's a great skier.
Materials, how is the outer material, the hand feel on those?
The handful was really, really nice. It's not a Gore-Tex material, but it was a wind-resistant and water-resistant material on the outside. So if it was snowing, it was a perfect jacket for those snowy days. But if it was raining, like it is back east right now, I would not be wearing this jacket. But I literally felt like a marshmallow. Like I was so insulated like the Michelin Man, but I didn't look like the Michelin Man. I looked very, very good.
You did.
Also, before I forget, this video is brought to you by the channel members. From you guys watching, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. For those of you interested in memberships, it's a few dollars a month and it gives you direct access to me to answer questions. I think it's a pretty good value. Or if you're just looking for a way to support the channel, that's a pretty good way. I'll also have links down to gear below that I use. So if you're gonna buy stuff anyway, please consider using those links. Even if it's not that direct ski, you just click on the link and anything you buy. So anyway, back to the video, but I just wanted to get that out of the way. Like it's raining back east, Kelly. All right, Kelly, back east has enough problems. You don't need to throw shade. Yeah, that's kind of the downside with down. You look like the Marshmallow Man. My friend Josh and I, when we did our Vermont and New Hampshire racing, we would do the Nara circuit. And for me, I was an independent racer. I didn't have a coach. So I would have to like go up and get my own jacket. So a lot of times I'd get these big down jackets. You buy them in July when they're cheap. And I had one by Burton. It was like a green puffy. He had a big spider gray puffy. But it kept your muscles warm before you did your run, before you had to strip down into your speed suit. So you look ridiculous, and he and I would get picked on, but, at least in high school races, when you start winning races and, we're on the same team, so him and my brother and I, if we're stomping on the stadium, people stop making fun of you, eventually. Well, most people. I guess they still make fun of you, but it was really good. It's good for keeping your muscles warm.
Yeah, the kit looked great out there. All right, so we talked about construction. Let's transition into design and features now. What about pockets? I know with women's apparel these days, pockets are always a hot topic. How were the pocket placements, the number of pockets with both your kits?
Totally. So I'll start with my Alez bomber jacket. That was my gripe. I had 3 pockets. Well, 4 pockets if you include the...
I think this is Kelly's first time on camera. She doesn't quite know what to do with her hands. And I say, Kelly, lean into it. If you got expressive hands, let them fly free, baby. That's what I do. You just, I don't know. She puts her hands up, puts them away, puts them out. You just gotta let them fly. At least in my opinion. Some people may think that's unprofessional. Also, their setup looks nice. Definitely high-end setup. It always looks a little fake to me. You look at the background and it's like got park tools for mountain biking and then a pair of ski goggles hanging randomly. Do any of your ski shops look like that? Do any of your, where you tune your skis, does it look like that? Because mine looks like a freaking mess. It's like Ryobi batteries for the weed whacker, and over here you've got random outlets, and here we've got my cable tied up on the wall. And I take pride, I think it's pretty organized, but nobody's shop actually looks like that.
The pass pocket, but I only had 2 pockets on the outside and 1 inner pocket for my phone. Where if I wanted to bring a snack or some hand warmers or something of that nature, I just didn't really have anywhere to store it. I was kind of bummed about.
Yeah, we get hungry.
Yeah, hanger and me skiing is not, my husband would attest, like it is not for me. But placement, perfect. The zipper's easy to.
Okay. Kelly working for Backcountry, this is like legitimate criticism. This is really nice to see. Like, you know, I don't expect much from these kind of videos, but that is very true. And honestly, that's something I'm always saying about the freestyle jackets. They've got so many pockets, it's super useful. I keep snacks for the kids. I've got passes, I've got water. One thing I will say about ski jackets that I've grown to really care about more than I thought I would is that stupid little pocket on your sleeve is actually huge. Because now that we've got all these RFID scanners or whatever, when you have it on your chest, you have to, or on your hip, you have to kind of lift up, especially if it's in your snow pants, or I have to do like an awkward twist because it's in my bibs. On a nice ski jacket, when you've got that pocket, instead of like hurting your knees and bouncing off of the, what do you call it, the scan, the little bars that open up for you in the ski line, what's nice is you just wave your arm across and you save your knees. It's such a minor thing, but when you do it hundreds and thousands of times, I've grown to actually weirdly care about it.
Open with my big poofy gloves, easy to get to the inside pocket, easy to reach.
Oh God, I know I'm pausing a lot, but look, they fixed the tassel thing. It has like little like hunkers, like it's got little like straps holding it down. Okay, maybe I was too quick to judge. Also, Kelly's goggles and helmet's always perfect. She's very good at that. It's like I, for whatever reason, have zero ability at picking that stuff out, but she's like killing it. That's a nice setup.
To reach into. I had these, it was a very fun, again, very fashion forward, is like they had the drawstrings that came down, kind of like a high-end hoodie, and it was well thought out because it was actually attached to the front of the jacket, so it wasn't like whipping around in your face. Like when I first saw this jacket, I was like, oh no, if I'm skiing down and they're whacking me in the face. But I never even noticed it, to be totally honest. And I thought it looked very, very sharp because it was it's a black drawstring, and I have black pocket seam sealed here and a couple other black details, which I thought it was just a very well thought out construction.
Okay, she beat me to it. I should have waited. This is why I should pre-watch these. I like the live reaction, though. I mean, it's more genuine for you guys. But, okay. Okay, she addressed it. She addressed it. Also, Kelly, your mittens are giant, but I know that's because you have terrible hand circulation. Okay.
On their end. And then the jacket that I was wearing in the afternoon, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, the Hanette jacket. This also retails for $2,400. And this was more of a form-fitting jacket. So I was a little nervous about movability, but the way that it moved with me when I was skiing, I was never really restricted when I was out there. It also has Primaloft Gold in it. It wasn't a Gore-Tex material, but it was water resistant and wind resistant. And again, I stayed very warm in it, which was really nice. It had a fun little detail.
Oh my God. This is like what, you know, this is what I always talk about with ski brands over-engineering things. You know what I will say, though, if I'm being honest? My kids have those racer chaser harnesses where it's like, you know, like a full thing that goes over their shoulders. And it's meant so that you can pick them up easier when they fall. You can kind of hold them while you're skiing. I thought she had one of those on. That's what it looks like. You guys gotta find like a slightly different color or a different material or different buckle, whatever. You don't want an adult, especially somebody who's got a lot of money, who might be new to skiing, to look like they're wearing a racer chaser. I don't know if I'd ever use the glove thing. I just stuff them in my giant freestyle pockets. But I'm, you know, I'm not a man of over refinement when it comes to skiing. I'm like, whatever gets me the laps. You know, when I was a kid, when I was skiing, I would get a Subway sandwich and I'd eat one half for breakfast and I'd stuff the other half in my jacket and eat it at lunch. Just because if you take lunch breaks, you have a crowded lodge, and if you ski on the lunch breaks, you can usually get like no lift lines, get as many laps as you want. So I don't know, I'm a little more, what's the word, rough and tumble with this kind of stuff. You know, when I was a ski coach, I would keep a can of Chef Boyardee in my coach's bag because you can always pop it open, put a fork in it, and eat that for breakfast. This seems like people who appreciate the finer things in life. And as I get older, I find myself diverging from that more and more. I don't know. I like nice things. I like things that are warm. But this seems like it's just not my thing. As far as the review though, I thought Kelly did great. I'm definitely biased because she's a friend of mine, but I thought she did awesome. Like, there's always so much like frills and this will change the game and this is so good and this is for this person. And Kelly like addressed all of my criticism, you know, without even thinking about it. Oh yeah, I thought these tassels would be annoying, but they were fine. Oh, okay. Oh, this little strap is for hanging your mittens. I don't know. This is like really good backcountry content. And if you look at the views, 21,000 views for a jacket video, that's kind of wild actually. Like their other videos do not have a ton of views. Let's look. God, you know, 21,000 views, and normally some of their other gear videos like about pants and stuff are getting 700, 500 views. I mean, like their podcast has 120 views. Their other videos have 700 views. I think this is amazing for a jacket video to get this many views. I'm not just trying to like, you know, pump up Kelly or whatever, although I guess I'm biased in that way, but like a lot of Backcountry's videos are not that successful, and Kelly managed to make like luxury high-end ski jackets really interesting. More so than even like I feel like Ted did in his Q's review. She was honest, she's a very good skier. She like pointed out things that a person who skis a lot would actually notice about like the tassels. She points out like a lot of really good things. She talks about the breathability, the warmth. I mean, you can tell too, it comes from somebody who gets really cold, which I appreciate. I don't know, I kind of think this is awesome. I think this should be the future of content like this with Backcountry. Get real skiers, people who really ski well, who have raced and done backcountry skiing and done everything in between. Get real skiers reviewing this stuff, because people who put mileage on this stuff know what they're looking for. And, you know, at least in my opinion, everybody else can sniff this stuff a mile away. And I thought Kelly just did an awesome job. So I would watch 100 more of these videos. I thought Kelly did awesome. Yeah, I thought this was really great. And I hope ski industry are taking notes, because we need more real skiers really reviewing and showcasing gear like this. Because it's overdue at this point. Maybe I'll see if I can go skiing with Kelly. That might be cool. She's over in Utah, I'm in Idaho, but that would be really fun. I'll see what I can do, okay? I think that would be... Maybe this is her only video. Maybe she's done after this, I don't know. But Kelly, if you somehow watched this video, nice job. I thought you did great. Anyway, a little bit of different stuff. Thank you again for bearing with me while we're outside. Like I said before, I lost childcare, so we kind of have to do these night shoots. But I wanted to still get you guys content because I know you guys take the time to watch it, and I really appreciate that. As always, thank you for being here. If you want to check out the skis that I ski on, I'll have links down below. That's a free way to support the channel if you're buying ski gear anyway, which if you're smart, you should be, because it's summertime and that's when skis are cheap. But as always, just, again, thanks for taking time out of your day. Thanks for being here. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.